Yo, it's Captain, and I'm bringing you. I can't remember the intro. It's a Dark Souls Diary number 28. We're on the 28th one. I know because I messed up the last intro, so I didn't have to look it up this time. But it's 28th time I played Dark Souls. First time any Souls. And today we primarily did the Painted World of Ariamis. Ariba? I don't know, man. I don't know. No one says it. Somebody did talk today. We met a talker, but she didn't say what the hell the name of the place was called. But that's what we did. Why were we here? What was our whole point? Our entire point in the playthrough right now is to get one more dragon scale so that I can upgrade the dragon bone fist. I keep calling him fists, but there's only one. It's only one. The dragon bone fist to +5, get it maxed out so that I can then take it to the catacombs, because all the weapons I like are too big to use in the catacombs, and I thought it'd be fun to use the boss fists, but they kind of suck. So I don't know, I leveled them up. They still kind of sucked. But by golly, we're leveling them up all the way. I want that S scaling. I want that S scaling for strength. So we've been trying to get a dragon scale forever. We've looked it up. This is the last place. I'm pretty sure it's the last place in the game with a dragon scale. Before we have to just try to kill more of those blue drakes, and I might go insane. So, last time we played, we got the key, which was the peculiar doll. And today, we went up to the painting. We pretty much did the whole thing. We didn't finish the whole thing, but we pretty much did the whole thing. So that's what we did. I forgot I was still in the summary. I'm still giving you the preview summary, and I've already went off on a tangent. That's where we are. That's where we are today. Brace yourself. So, actually, the very first thing we did today was I dropped back into Sin's Fortress and tried to kill the Titanite demon, the hard Titanite demons that are like in the pit off to the side. And they killed me faster than they usually did. Like I died almost instantly. Well, I had a new strat. I had the ring. We got the ring from the last from our return trip to the Undead Asylum. You get a ring, and it says it makes it so you can, walk around and stuff. And I was like, I think that means I can walk around in the tar and it won't slow me down. I can walk around the water, it won't slow me down. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna try this on the Titanite demon. And it was bad because I had to take off Havel's ring to do it, right? And then I'm super heavy. And I was like, what was the point of putting on the ring if I'm going to be super heavy? So then I had to redo my armor. And I had like no armor. So then I'm down there with no armor. And I'm like, it'll be great. We're like a whole bunch of levels higher. We got this big weapon. I think I hit it one time. And I hadn't fought a Titanite demon in a while. And upon reflection, after dying in probably less than 10 seconds, it was really bad. Upon reflection, I realized that you are not supposed to go to the monster's right side, because that's where everything is, and you will die because it's just a mess of bullshit. Like I don't think you can fight it on its right side. If you go to its left side, you can sit there forever, and it's actually just really boring and tedious, and you're just waiting for it to, to get some cheese hitbox off on you, and it's still dumb. It sucks, but at least you live. So I ran to the left side and just got like hit by, everything, and it totally cheesed me, and I was pretty pissed. But I did my best to get over pretty quickly, and been like, well, I was just trying it out. It's always a bad time to go to Sin's Fortress, so I just need to remind myself every now and then. So we left. We went to the painted town. We killed the painting guys. And you walk up to the painting, you touch it, and it goes and sucks you in like a well, I guess you jump into Mario paintings. It's like an evil Mario painting. It sucks you in. I actually did know this because I saw this cutscene somewhere. in recent memory. So I did realize, I was like, oh, that's the painting. And then I realized, oh, it's like a whole place. That's really cool. So we did it. We went in there, and it is really cool. It was really cool to do it myself. It like you come in there, and I think they do like a neat thing with the bitmap because you end up on the bridge. You end up right where the picture is. It's a picture. I didn't put a clip of this one. I got a couple clips. I don't know. I feel like I wasted my time. The clips aren't that great, and I was already running super late today. I was like, I don't know. But it did remind me at least what we did during the stream, so that was helpful. So I can have something to talk to you about. But I did get some clips. I don't know. I'll probably play them. But I didn't get a clip of going into the painting because it was just a cinematic, and I figured, well, everybody's seen that. But here I'm trying to describe it to you, and I was like, wow, it'd be really nice if I had a clip of that. But it's a painting of like a little mountain, and it seems to be there's a castle on the mountain, and the painting is from the perspective of a rope bridge across the gorge to the little mountain. Is it a mountain if it's that small? It's like a mountain island. It's like from one peak to another, and you are on the bridge. And so when you suck into the painting, you end up on the bridge, and right in front of you, you see what you just saw in the painting. It's a really nice effect because I think as you get in, like the level, you know, it becomes the level. But when you're further back, I don't know if they use an LOD trick. Where like you're far enough back and it's actually just it's just showing you a bitmap, so it really looks like the painting, or if they just actually, you know, made the painting like really accurate to the level itself. So when you're far away from the level, it just really looks like the painting. But I think they did something a little extra to it because you know how when when you're far away from things in the game, they rendered differently. You know, and sometimes, you know, an old trick from even really old games is just to put a picture back there. You know, just like essentially like a big sprite or something. So I thought maybe they did that, and then as you get closer, it like, you know, the level actually loads in, fades in. But I'm not really sure. I think but whatever they did, it's a really good effect. It really looks like that painting when you load in. It looks just a little extra painting-y. And then as you walk up to it and it's in your face, now it's just a regular level because it's in your face, you know. And it is. You're kind of that is the Painted World of Ariamis. I said Ariamis all stream, but it's Ariamis sounds better to me now. So I guess that's what we'll call it. But it's essentially just a big castle. It's a big snowy castle on a mountaintop. You're on like a little mountain peak, like a little mountain island, and you explore this ruined snowy castle. It's pretty cool actually. There's a whole area just stuck in this painting, whole secret area, and essentially you go to a secret area, get a key, and essentially it takes you to another secret area. I needed to put the word essentially in the proper place. I tried it in like 3 places, and none of them was the correct place. But I didn't want to keep saying it. Oh no! I told you to buckle up. I'm pretty tired. I'm out of it. But it's like for a really like a nice secret area, this cool castle. I thought it was really compelling. I mean, the whole game is compelling. People always ask me if it's like fun, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is fun. I'm like a lot of time having a bad time. There's a lot of time having a good time. But really, it's just compelling. And I would say my overall thoughts of this place is it's been one of the scariest places I've been. It really ramped up the horror game feel for me. And I feel like that's just not an accurate descriptor anymore. Not because it's wrong, but because horror game just means something different these days. But this was a really scary section. This was, you know, I often compare the feelings I get from this game to Resident Evil 4. I don't play like a lot of scary games. Maybe I should just call it a scary game. That probably makes more sense to people. I don't play a lot of scary games because it's just not really my thing, and most of them these days are like haunted house type things where you don't really play it, you just walk through it. And then the jump scares pop around and stuff. and I'm really kind of gameplay focused, so it's just not compelling to me, and I don't necessarily enjoy being scared. It's not like, I mean, it could be fun, but it's not like something I go out of my way to do, you know. You know, it's like, oh, let's watch something scary. I'm like, do we have to? It's not that like I'm scared. You know, some people are like, no, don't do that. I'm too scared. It's not. I'm not too scared of them. I don't mind a good scary story. It's kind of fun, but like, I don't know. There's things I like watching better, I guess. But I like a good. You know what I like? I like a good written scary story. Those are really fun to me. Even like Victorian horror books and stuff. those are really fun. Go read like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Go read Frankenstein or something. Those are fun to read. But anyways, but this area really gave me that Resident Evil 4 feeling. And what was that feeling for me? It's you need to move forward. You know you need to go into the next room. You know you need to pull the lever. You know you need to do the thing. But there's a tension in doing it because you're scared. You don't want to do it because you know something bad's gonna happen or something bad could happen. Like, I don't want to go into the next room. I mean, like it. Imagine like when you're playing a game and you see where you are and you realize it's a boss room, and then you're a little bit scared, you're a little bit tense because you're like, oh, it's a boss room. Well, right, so for a scary game, for me playing Resident Evil 4, like, that's like everything had that tension because it was scary, and this game does that a lot for me too. Because the longer you play, the higher risk you're at, you know, as your souls ramp up, and you never know if you're going to get jumped, and you can die so fast and so punishing. It's really quite tense. You know you need to go to the next room, but you don't know what's in the next room. You don't know if they're going to jump you. They don't know if they're going to drop you. They don't know if there's a trap. It could be anything, and all of it can kill you. And you're just like, I don't want to go in the next room. And as you go in, the more rooms you've done, right, you're getting further. You're getting further from safety. You're building up more risk with your more souls and stuff. And you're like, oh god, there's another room. I don't want to do. We just did 5. I don't want to do a 6. Don't make me do a 6. But what else you gonna do? You have to, right? You have to go forward. Like, you're not gonna do 5 rooms and then leave. Like, you gotta go to the next one. And that's what's fun. That's what's super compelling to me, because I really love exploration, finding secrets and stuff. And this game is really, really good about that. It's. I mean, it's just top tier in exploration, finding secrets and stuff. You know, with the lore, with the extra stuff you could do, with the secret rooms and the secret areas. There's so much cool stuff. The surprises, you know, is this a chest with something really cool, or is it surprise a mimic, right? Like, it's just always exciting. You never know what you're gonna find, and then combine that with, you know, they're gonna kill you. One of the things you could find is like instant death, right? It becomes very thrilling. It's I don't know, it's like the Indiana Jones effect. You're going through the ancient tomb, but you don't know where the next trap door is, you know. But you want that gem. Is it gonna be gem, or is it gonna be a boulder? You don't know. Maybe it's both. If you're lucky, right, you'll get the gem and dodge the boulder. So it's that really nice adventuring, but mainly the horror feel. And this area felt the most like that to me for, I think, a very specific reason. And it's because pretty much everything in here, until you get through it, poisons you. And not just regular poisons you, it toxins you. And poison you can largely ignore, right? It takes a while and it slowly bleeds your health down, so you're gonna have to do an Estus. But to be honest, if you're getting in regular fights, you're probably gonna be Estusing regularly anyways. So you just do the fights, maybe you go a little quicker. You just do the fights like normal, and then you Estus after the fight because you're gonna have lost a little bit more health. Not a big deal. Toxin, however, it didn't bleed me too fast. I think what it does is it ramps up if you leave it up. So like, because my health bar didn't feel like it was going down, and then it felt like it was going down a little bit, and then it felt like it was going down like a little faster, and I was like, oh, I can't leave this up. And I already knew that I couldn't leave it up, but at some point in here, because I just kept getting toxic, I was like, can I just leave this on? This is crazy. No, you cannot leave it on. So what you do is there's an item that you have, the moss with the blooms on it, and it will clear the toxic. Okay, so the only problem is that's a consumable. And I only had so many. I didn't know everything was going to be toxic. I just had what was on hand. I think I had 10 just from running through the forest so many times and killing those stupid trees. And they occasionally drop this. Um, yeah, I had like 10 or something. And so I killed, the first time I got toxic, I was like, it's fine. I have this thing. I used it. I think I died straight afterwards, anyways, because um, it was to the rats, and I couldn't hit them with my hammer because they were in like it kept bouncing off the ceiling, and so I was trying to turn and hit different ways and everywhere. I was like, okay, I guess I just can't hit them at all. And so then they toxic me, so I like ran up and used the item before I died, and one of the rats followed me. And I was on low health, but I was like, I gotta take this item before I die. Because I wasn't quite sure how toxic worked. I just knew I was on low health and I was toxic. I was like, that's really bad. I gotta get rid of this. And one of the rats had followed me, um, and like hit me in the back right as I used the item. So it took my very limited item and still killed me anyways. But here's the thing, like those items don't replenish. You die, you go back to the bonfire, you get your Estus back. Right? You try again. Not a big deal, right? That's how the whole game works. I don't get my toxic item back. I don't get my consumable back. Consumables in this game are in some ways worse than regular game consumables because this whole game is about killing you and you retrying. But and so everything's infinite, right? Like you don't use health potions, they replenish, right? That's the whole reason it's not regular potions, because it would be hell in a game like this, because there's no guarantee on how many times you're going to die. Like the whole point of the game is to give you a challenge that you're not going to be able to figure out, and you just you just corpse run it until you find the right solution. Well, if you're lucky or smart or good or something, that might be a couple of tries. If you're none of those things, it could be 100 tries. So how could you ever be given the appropriate amount of potions for a scenario like that? So what they did, for cause what I'm saying is like, how would you as a developer know to give what amount of potions? What's the appropriate amount of potion for a challenge that you made that was so difficult that there's the only way to do it is to corpse run it until you figure out the solution? There's no way. It like you'd have to plan like, well, I expect them to fail like 10 times, but that's not how the game's set up. The game is like punishingly the game is super punishing. So there's just like to the point that it's unfair. It's unfairly punishing because you just respawn and try again, right? So so right, like you've made the game in the expectation that somebody might have to try this like 50 times. So that you just wouldn't be able to do enough potions. And then what if they're having trouble and it took them 70 times? Well, now I'm out of potions. Now what do you do? So the replenishing potion is how this works. It's the revolutionary system that makes this whole thing work. So that it doesn't matter how many times you die to this boss or how much trouble this boss gave you versus this other person because you picked a different build, right? So this boss was hard for you. No, you always have the replenishing potion. You can always just keep trying. Every time you die, you're back to right. You're right back to where you started. So you haven't really lost anything. And then that's where the souls come in as the risk factor. Those are the things you can lose. But you can't lose your potions. You'll never have to stop, go back to town, because that would suck. That wouldn't be any fun. And then we'd be in the Titanite situation that you gotta buy to upgrade your weapons, and why it sucks so much. However, why did I go on this big tangent? Because it's only potions that they did that for. It's not these antidote things. Every time I use an antidote herb, it's gone forever. If I then die and have to retry and that enemy respawns and it causes me to use another antidote herb, I am now permanently one down antidote herbs, which means my antidote herbs are a limiting factor to my retries, which is not usual for this game. So all of a sudden, the game became, you have limited resources to get through this, and you might not be able to because you might run out of resources. And that, I mean, if that isn't Resident Evil, I don't know what is. Like that's the whole point of Resident Evil. It's a survival horror game. The crux to a survival horror game is you only have so much ability to survive. Can you get through the game before you run out of the ability? Right? Like, I have 10 bullets and 20 zombies. I can't shoot all the zombies. I might have to do something else, right? That's the survival horror part. That's what makes it scary and not just a gung-ho action game where you just machine gun them all and like a wave zombie shooter, right? That's a different game. It's not really a scary game. It's a fun shoot all the zombies game. But no, I don't have enough bullets to the zombies. So what am I gonna have to do? Am I have to sneak around one? Am I gonna have to try to melee one? Right? Like am I just gonna have to shoot my 10 bullets perfectly so it actually hits 2 zombies every time? Like, right? You have to. Right? That's the scary part. You see what's ahead of you. You see what you have, and you're trying to figure it out how you're gonna pull it off. And if you don't, you're dead, right? That's what this section was like, because I only had 10 of those things. So what that meant was I was not safe to die. If I died, right, I would have to use all my antidotes again. I'm just gonna call them antidotes because it's easier. I think they're called like blossoming purple herb, purple flower, or some shit. I'm just gonna call them antidotes. I would have to use my antidotes all again, and I might not have enough. Right? If I get halfway and then I die and I have to use the exact same amount of antidotes to get halfway again, right? I might not have enough to get through the whole thing. Like, I don't know how many antidotes I'm going to need. Maybe you need 10 antidotes just to get through it. So if I use like 5 and then die and then use 5 again to get back there because the enemies respawn, well, now I don't have any for the rest, and I need 5 more, but I don't have them, right? So it was very tense. It was probably annoying. In fact, chat, let me know it was annoying, because I had to play extra super cautious, because I was, right? This is, for once in this game, it actually matters if you die. Because you won't just lose it, and I was gaining souls, so I mean that part always matters. But like, it wasn't I was just gonna lose souls and be sad. It was I would literally have to leave if I didn't play it well enough and use my resources properly. I would have to leave because I need the antidotes. Right? You can't play it without the antidotes. You have to get poisoned unless you are like a ranged class. Because there are, I mean, the rats you don't have to take poison from, but there are, I guess I should have explained this, there are zombies that are infected, and if you kill them with a melee weapon, they explode and instantly toxin you. Why? Presumably if you kill them with a ranged weapon. When you kill them, they explode and toxin the area around them. So if you're using a melee weapon, even one with a really long reach like mine, I had the big hammer, right? You would still get toxined. There was 2 I killed that I didn't get toxined, and I really tried to find a way to kill them where I wasn't, like a special way to kill them at max range or something. And I did kill 2 of them, not get poisoned. But people said people couldn't remember. I had somebody said that they thought that there's a random chance that one of them has antidotes or something, and I was like, okay. So like maybe some of them blow up and don't poison you, so that's why I didn't get poisoned twice. because there was one I didn't get poisoned by, and then I killed him again the next time, and I got poisoned. But that's a little, I don't know, it's a little weird. It doesn't quite make sense. But I don't know. I mean, the game's kind of weird. The other one I killed like on a stair, and I think he was too high up, so that the cloud didn't get to me. But you can't you like that's not something you can really guarantee. That was just me getting lucky. So you pretty much have to get toxin. So it's more like learn the area, so like if I killed one and then used my antidote and then there was one right next to me or one right behind him, and that would be dumb because now I have to use two antidotes. When you have a little leeway when you first get toxined, I could have killed them both, then took, because you can't get toxin twice, then took the antidote, and I would have conserved things. So it was always like trying to figure out where these guys were, trying to plan ahead, trying to make sure I like take them all out at once, because I don't know when I'm going to run out of antidotes. And if I do run out of antidotes, I cannot guarantee killing them without being toxic. So, I won't be able to continue. I would literally have to quit and leave, and I want to get through here with my souls. So if I died, usually you can get back to your souls, but not if I don't have enough antidotes, right? So everything's much more high stakes because I'm limited by antidotes. Now, so what I needed to do was just go, I think there's a vendor you can buy them from, that guy in the aqueduct. I think you can buy the blooming ones from him. I know you can buy the regular ones. So I just need to like go and buy like 100 of them, and then I would be fine. It wouldn't matter. But I didn't have 100 of them. I just had what was on me. I had like 10. And every time I fought one of those guys, I was like, one down. And I didn't know how many were left. I didn't know, if I had messed up. And I knew if I died, all the enemies would be back. And I'd have to use at least as many as I had used to get to that point, just to get back to my souls. So if I used over half my toxin things and then died, I didn't have enough antidotes to get back to my souls. You see what I'm saying? I did have a backup plan that was like, well, I could just run past everything, eat the toxin, and then like grab the souls and try to die a little bit close to the bonfire, and then just do like epic corpse runs until I got the souls back to the bonfire, and then I could leave with the soul. Like that was gonna be my plan, but we played it really safe, and we just crawled, like literally crawled through this place 1 inch at a time, so that I could get through it. And I actually made it out with my souls by the end, which might spoil a little bit of tension later, but I don't know, this video's been too long anyways, and I just want to slap myself for talking too long, because Lord knows I don't have time for it. But yeah, we actually made it out. So it really gave me that scary game feel today. It really gave me the survival horror feel, because I have limited resources. They're very important. I need to accomplish this goal. So we just crawled through. We fought through the rats. We fought through the zombies. We fought through the exploding zombies. And then there was a few encounters that I've got. That's the clips I've got that were more interesting. But that's the bigger section. That's what the whole tension of the area was, and that's what made it really compelling and made it really, really satisfying when we did actually succeed at it. And it also made every choice agonizing. Just every choice. There was a time where I had like 2 ways to go, and like one way, there was a shortcut door right at the beginning. So I was like, if I can get to the shortcut door, then that's really going to help me out, because it will reduce the amount of antitoxins I'm going to need, because it'll let me get back further in faster, right? That'll change the whole dynamic. I'll be a lot better off. But there was you had to go through the courtyard. I did find a way to get that shortcut door open, but I had to go through the courtyard. And there was like something really scary in the courtyard, and I was like, yeah, that might be a boss. I might open that, and it's not, I have to kill the boss before I can open the door. That would be silly game design, but so is this game. So so it's like, do I want to go that way? Like, it has a pretty high reward of opening that shortcut door, but there's also definitely something in the courtyard that's pretty high risk. And it was like, well, I could go another way. There was other, because it was a pretty twisty turny area. As I'm exploring, I'm like, well, I could go another way. There was one time where it was that way, or there was like a big bridge that led out, and I could try to go the bridge way, but that was very high risk too, because one, I'm moving further away from the shortcut door. If I'm supposed to go the other way first and get that shortcut door, I'm like just making it worse for myself if I end up dying. And right, if I'm wrong, maybe there's like 2 bosses or something, and now I'm getting deeper in. I'm getting more likely to find another boss or something, and I don't have the safety. So like, it was really tense. It was like, should I try for that door and hope I can deal with the courtyard, or should I go the other way and hope that that's simpler? Right? I knew there must be a way out, because you can't leave from the bridge. Like, to me, leaving would have been, I just warp out from the bonfire because I had the Lord Vessel. But I knew you could get here without the Lord Vessel, so I knew there was another exit. And so even though the deeper in option was more risky, it also meant there was probably the secondary exit, or the main exit. I guess warping's probably not an exit, like a main exit. There probably would get to the exit as well. So even though it was more known risk, it was a good chance for an unknown benefit. Whereas the other direction was, through the courtyard, was a known benefit but an unknown risk. And it was like, ooh, what do I do? But it was very tense because, it wasn't like, well, I'll just pick one. If I die, I'll just have to fight through some things or whatever, or I might lose my souls or whatever. No, it was, I'll run out of antitoxin and I will be unable to continue, and I'll have to give up. And I was like, ooh, it was rough. It was really rough. It's really rough. So, but I'll tell you what, we did find a couple cool things. So that's like, that was the overall feeling the whole time, and what made it really compelling, made it really satisfying to beat it. What, like, some fun major encounters. We did find the undead dragon. He was on a bridge. I actually found him as I had explored about half the place, which I didn't realize it felt like maybe like a third to half the place when I finally saw him, because we actually still had to clear the kind of middle sections. So maybe like a quarter of the place. But he's like, if you wrap around, he's like halfway. But I had just caught him, so probably like a quarter to a third of the place we had done. And I saw the dragon, and I was like, yo, that's the dragon. That's the only reason. That's the whole reason I'm here. I can actually get to him. If I just go over there and kill him, it doesn't matter if I can't beat this place. It doesn't matter if I run out of, the anti-venoms. Cap, antidote, antitoxin, anti-venom, pick one. Look, it's where we are today. It's like, it doesn't matter if I run out because I'll have the dragon scale. I can go buy a bunch of antidotes and then come back. It won't be a big deal. But then I was like, yeah, but the undead dragon is kind of tough. I remember him being kind of tough, and he looks different this time. I think the fight's gonna be different, right? And it was stressful. But as I fail at drinking, but we did get him, and it's a different fight. He's on a bridge, and he's like breathing stuff at you. He comes up when you go up to the bridge. He like sees you and then like claws his way across the bridge to you. But then he does the same pattern that the other one does, where he just like breathes ooze, and if you get near him, I don't think he ever swiped at me. I don't think this one swipes at you, but it's tricky. All right, I'll show you the clip. I was like, I don't need to show you this clip, but I'll show you the clip because it'll explain it. So once I figured out what you got to do, it became. I realized we just had to go full. Like I'm really worried about dying, so it's full degen game, and we do super cringe strats. And I was like, all right, the guy works. He either breathes to the left, the right, or the middle. So I just need to bait a breath and then go hit him on a different side. And that's literally what we did. So we baited the breath down the middle, and then we went to the left, and then he's gonna breathe on the left, so you run away and you go back to the middle, and you just keep cycling. And I didn't even see him die. I didn't even get to look at him. I didn't get to look at his health. It was just like hit him, run from the breath, because I had tested it. I tested all where he breathed, and I tested what the breath did. This one poisoned you like everything else. So I was like, all right, I can't get hit by this. I think I finally kill him there, and I know because he makes a big roar. I'll let the clip play because it's very satisfying when we finally pick up the item. So right, just like super cringe, right? Because it's tense. We're playing hardcore mode. You know why I don't pick? There you go. There's the dragon scale. You know why I don't pick hard mode or hardcore in like a Diablo game or something? Because it makes me play like a wuss. Because I don't want to die. And I think that's lame. So here we are in one of the most I can't die situations I've ever had in this game. And what do? We play like a wuss, because what else are you going to do? You can't die. And here, do I have another one? We actually did this. All right, we did it again. I might wait till this story gets there. We actually did it again because there's another, I'll show it. There's another enemy. We finally went to the courtyard, right? And it's not a boss in the courtyard, but all these gooey things come out of the courtyard and try to murder you. And there's a million of them. And I knew I couldn't jump in there and do it, right? But we're still in can't die mode. So we're still in can't die mode. So what do we do? How do we beat it? Well, with degenerate gameplay. I stand right here on this little corner, and since my character is right-handed, she will swing the hammer around the corner. They can't get me because they can't get up those steps. They can't go past that door. So I just stand there and very slowly keep hooking the hammer around the corner until we kill like all 20 of them. And it is cringe as fuck. It is cringe as fuck. But we did it, okay? And we didn't die. Because that's what it is. We gotta play like a wuss, man. We can't die. That's what was in the courtyard, by the way. And then you kill all those things. They're like slimes. They're like slimes from World of Warcraft. Where they're like pieces of all sorts of things put together. Like you can see, legs and stuff sticking out of them, and armor and weapons and stuff. And then it's like a big graveyard in the middle, and it's just a little extra pieces to explore. And a well. There's a well that you can go. We had done everything. We'd already went across the bridge, but afterwards we came and did this courtyard, and we had killed everything. And I was like, oh, there's a well. And I went down there and I looked in the well, and it's not just a well. It's like a huge whole underground area. And I was like, nope. We barely made it through all this. I'm taking my win. We'll do the well later. So it was pretty satisfying to go through there, and we opened the door and everything, and that was nice. But actually, we didn't go that way first. Remember when I was like trying to figure out which way to go? That's the courtyard to get to the shortcut door. But after you kill the dragon, you can go across the bridge, and there's you got to jump attack its butt, which Chad had to tell me about. But once you jump attack its butt, you can actually keep going across the bridge. You can drop down and make it all the way across. And so I actually chose to do that first because I don't know, for whatever reason, the unknown risk, like I didn't know it was just going to be those gooey guys that came and attacked you. I was like, that courtyard really feels like a boss to me. This bridge is probably just the way to the exit. So that's what I did. I was wrong. As soon as I dropped down, you can't go back up once you drop down. So I figured, well, it's got to be an exit down there because it's permanent once I drop down. Once I dropped down, I saw another boss door, the fog walls, because there was a fog wall to get to the courtyard. So I figured that was a boss. Once I dropped down on the bridge, there's another fog wall, and I'm like, oh god, this one's further away and I can't get back. This one's the boss. The other one was, I don't know, maybe there's two bosses. The other one was, I should have went the other way. But I didn't even have time, here, this is the third clip. I didn't even have time to think about that because once you drop down, you turn around and there's like, once you drop down, this guy's shooting at you. So you go and you're like, all right, a couple zombos, whatever, and you go to kill the zombos. Now you might have seen one just right there. There's somebody climbing, and then oh my god, it's an ambush. and I saw that big guy, and I was like, oh my, and they had like jumped me in that corner. Like, oh my god. And then I was like, okay, there's a door. Look, I'm just running. Would see they're like, yo, yeah, we're gonna get him. No, no, he hits hard. And I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm using this door. I'm getting out of here. This is insane. Oh, but the door's locked. There is a way to open that door. I don't know how to do it, but that would be that's the second shortcut door. The other side says you need it's locked by a contraption. I don't know what the contraption is. I thought it'd be on this side, but I didn't see it. I looked it up to see if I missed a lever or something. And I still don't know what it is. I couldn't, I didn't get an answer, and I was already super late, so I was like, whatever, maybe we'll look for it tomorrow. But we did actually live through this, and then this guy glitched out, which made it really easy to kill him. But it was pretty terrifying. Here, we'll come back. I eventually just jump attack him. It's I missed first too. It was embarrassing, but he totally glitched out. So that was like, it was intense. Like I actually made the wrong decision. I probably would have been safer on the phalanx. That was much more dangerous than the phalanx guys. When I was looking it up, I found out their name actually is phalanx. People were just saying it in chat. I thought they were just making a joke, but no, apparently that's the thing's name because they did a phalanx formation around this statue. But I think I would have been much safer with them. But you get to the end of the bridge, because we did live through it. You get to the end of the bridge, is a boss wall. You go in, and there is a boss there. However, the boss does not attack you. It is the girl. It's presumably the girl referenced in the doll lore, the doll tooltips, where it says there was an abomination that wasn't meant for the world or something, and then she held this doll and cried herself into a painted world, which is your clue to go to the painting. Presumably it's her, and I don't know if her name's Ariamis. Actually, I know what her name, because I saw it when I was looking up how to find that thing I didn't find. I think her name's Priscilla. But presumably it's the girl from the doll, and she didn't look like an abomination. She looked totally normal. She just looked like one of the large people you see, like the Gwyn people. She was just a large, pretty girl. The only thing is she had a tail. She had like big old tail. If you like walked around the back, she had a big old tail. I was like, whoa. So I don't know. I guess that was enough to be an abomination. I don't know. I don't know the story. You can talk to her, but all she says is, you shouldn't be here. This is a land full of good, kind people. And I'm like, ma'am, that's not what I just experienced. It's weird because everything's on pikes and stuff. So, and there's all these prison cells. So clearly these people are like fighting amongst themselves because they're putting other people on pikes, right? They were clear, like maybe she was thrown in here or something. Maybe they just kept throwing prisoners in here or something. But for her to say they're good people means there must have been like at least two factions, right? The people that she liked and the people that they put on pikes that they didn't like. So I really can't figure out the story of this place. And I was like, maybe you have to kill her or something. But all she tells you to do is leave. She says if you go behind me and jump off, you can get out of the painting. You can go, and you should go because you're not supposed to be here. And I talked to her again, and she kind of just repeated herself. I didn't want to talk to her a third time because I figured she might start attacking me, and I really didn't want to die. So I went to go kind of examine where to jump off before I could make a decision, because maybe there's another choice, maybe there's something I missed. And if you get anywhere close to behind her, it just puts you in a cutscene and you jump off and jump out. And we made it. We got out. And then I immediately went back into the painting because I knew that I should have went to the courtyard, and I really wanted to open that shortcut door, because if I come back here, right, I really want to have some sort of permanent progress to make it easier. Because I mean, I could go buy a bunch of antidotes if I want to come back, but really we had kind of done everything. I had managed to do everything except for the courtyard. So I was like, well, if everything stays dead, right, and I go back in, everything's already dead. I'm free to explore. We know where the boss is, so the courtyard's probably, probably not a boss. I could probably do it. And so I went back in. Everything did indeed stay dead, even though it was like a big loading screen and everything. Everything did indeed stay dead. So that's when we went around. We did the courtyard, and then I was like, I'm just not gonna touch Phalanx. I'm just gonna run over there and open the door. And of course, that doesn't happen. As soon as you get anywhere near the courtyard, all those goo guys go. So then we cheese them. Because again, I couldn't die. Like, I couldn't sit even though I had escaped, I can't sit at a bonfire because then everybody comes back, and then I don't have enough antitoxins, right? So like I had to still do it in one shot, even though we made it out. I jumped back in. I was like, no, we gotta finish this. And I opened the shortcut door, and then I was like, okay, now it's good. I can die and whatever. But we had actually completed everything, so I went around and explored the rest, and that's when I found the well, and that was the only thing we hadn't done. And I was like, you know what? This well's really close to shortcut door. I don't have to go through any toxic zombies to get here. I'm going to sit at the bonfire. I'm going to cash in my dragon scale that we worked so hard for. I'm going to cash in the ridiculous amount of souls we ended up getting. We had enough for like a level and a half. So I upgraded the Dragonbone Fist to +5. Got that S scaling. It was actually kind of funny because we had to use the Dragonbone Fist quite a bit. Remember I mentioned those rats and my hammer bouncing? So what I had to do is switch to the fists because they're small. So I don't know. I mean, maybe these fists will be more useful than I thought, because they did kill the zombies pretty easily. We could one punch the zombies, and we had to. It took 2 hits to hit the rats, but the second hit, it's like a 2-hit combo, and the second hit of the combo would miss the rat, so I had to hit him 3 times, which is a bit annoying. And then there's some crow ladies, some creepy crow harpy ladies that I had to fist, and that was cringe. Those fists are terrible. I had to hit them so many times, and it's not like it staggers them a lot, so they're probably going to hit you back, and it's and if I'm using the fists instead of my hammers, I'm in really close quarters, so it's not like I can dodge and weave a lot, which is really what those fists need to get maximum use. So it was just horrible. But they ended up being pretty useful, and we upgraded them. I'm going to take them to the catacombs, where hopefully they'll also be useful. So you know what? I mean, like, good job, Dragonbone Fist. You did what we wanted you to do. Still should have made the Golemax, but whatever. So then we actually had enough to upgrade that to level once, and then we still repair all our gear, and I leveled the Demon Axe from +6 to +10. Wasn't that many souls because I already bought the Titanite last time we played, and so I got like everything I needed to do, and had still like half a level worth of souls. So I felt pretty good about it. We got a lot of souls. So, but we didn't I ran out of time to do the wells. So next time we play, we'll probably just do the well and see what that's like, and go from there. But I don't know. It was a pretty exciting place. I don't know what the well is like. I went down there. It was a big area, and there was a soapstone, so I wanted to read it. And when I got close to it, something in the back moved, and I was like, "I'm gone. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not dying down here with all my souls and shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting jumped by 15 rats. I'm not getting the Grim Reaper of Toxin showing up and teleporting around. I'm out of here." So we'll probably do that next time we play. But yeah, that's the quest for the dragon scale has finally ended, and we essentially conquered the painted world of Ariamis, 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 except for the sewer area, which I'll probably do the next time we play. So that's I mean, I liked it. It was really tense. I played very cringe. I was the biggest wuss, and I definitely didn't feel heroic or cool or whatever. But we did it. We lived, and we got out with all our souls, and we were able to cash in. So it felt really good, but it felt really like a really good victory. Very much so. So that was fantastic. I don't know. I was gonna try to play again tomorrow, which would mean I'll make another video tomorrow to tell you how the well goes. But I'm running mega late, so a little worried about that now. I gotta do something to fix my sleeples, man. I like making these videos. It's not the videos, to be honest, but why are we talking about this? But so what I'm saying is, if all that works, we'll get another Dark Souls video tomorrow. If it doesn't work, we might not get a video. And then I'm hoping to play some Withering Waves and make and I can give a first impressions on that or whatever. So that's kind of what's upcoming. But yeah, that was the Painted Land of Ariamis and completion of the dragon scale, and we're finally ready to go to the catacombs and continue something I've been trying to do forever. And the catacombs will be terrible and probably kick my ass, and I'll probably regret going in there. But whatever. We beat Toxin Land, so that feels good. Still got to check the sewer though. We got to. Lord only knows. I'll probably go into the sewer and it'll take me to a whole nother secret area. That's how this game works. It's insane. So, but we'll find that out in the next Dark Souls Diary, most likely. Which means this one, number 28, has come to an end. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I hope everything goes well for you. And I will catch you in the next one. See you around.